Hello, Dominic here from the Bournemouth Writing Festival, welcoming you to another chat with a local writer, author, or writing professional in our local area of sunny Bournemouth. And I'm hoping to release one of these every Monday evening around 6 o'clock. But if you don't remember or you need a little prompt, remember to click subscribe. There's a button down there somewhere. If you click that button, then I think you get an email notification when a new video is released. And I'm hoping to do one of these every week up until Christmas. And then we flip in January to doing talks with the speakers that are going to be coming to the 2025 Writing Festival. If you enjoyed this video or if you enjoyed any of our videos, please do like and comment underneath. And so let's just get into this conversation with a local writer, Debbie James, who I'm really excited to be talking to. So hello, Debbie.
Hi, Dominic. Thanks very much for having me on.
No problem at all. Thank you for being here. So I want to start by saying that you've kind of recently got into serious writing. So what prompted you to get started?
I've always written ever since I could write, really, ever since I learned to spell. I started just scribbling just for fun. When I was about 7, I won a little poetry competition in the little tiny village that I used to live. I won 50p, I remember. Giving away my age there. And ever since then, I've just written. I've used it a lot during my later years as a kind of therapy, journaling, that sort of thing.
So let's talk about that, because I think, you know, you started writing seriously. Okay, you've made money out of your writing when you were a little child, even though it was 50p. But, you know, in those days, as you say, there's probably a lot of money. But let's talk about the last 4 years where you've really kind of focused on your writing, and it's become very serious, and you've performed as well as writing, as well as directing. So tell us about the last 4 years and what's happened to you.
Well, the Outsiders project has happened to me. They are an amazing group of people. They have literally changed my life. When I joined them, I was in quite a dark period of my life. I was in and out of relapses. I'm in recovery from alcohol. I was suffering quite badly with my depression, which I have done for years, but I was going through a pretty tough time. And there was quite a lot going on, and I'd lost all my confidence. Like, literally, I had zero confidence at all, and all I had really was my writing. I met someone who was going to the workshops that Outsiders do. They offered to well, they didn't offer to come with me, but they offered to for me to go. They said, "Oh, why don't you go along?" And it took a bit of nagging on their part, which I was grateful for. And then I finally went, and I know it sounds a bit cringy, but I really did feel like I'd come home. It was instant almost. I just thought, this is where I've got to be.
That's amazing, and I'm so glad that the Outsiders Project was able to help you and even getting you across that threshold. So what I'd really like to understand is how the Outsiders Project helped you turn where you were from quite a dark place into where you are now.
Yeah, the lady who was running the workshops at the time was a lady called Jane, who was absolutely wonderful. She kind of took me under her wing, I suppose. Lots of coffees, lots of going round for a meal or whatever. I think she did sort of go further than she went above and beyond what they would expect. Really, she was wonderful. And at the time, I mean, I was terrified even to. I didn't read anything out that I'd written. I didn't show anybody for quite a long time, except for Jane. Right? She was the only one, and Nell as well. Nell was the kind of top. It was Nell's thing, the Outsiders Project. So between Nell and Jane, and their patience. They were so patient with me because I was probably quite hard work. I'm very apologetic as well. I apologize a lot. It's a trauma thing, but I do. And Nell used to say to me that she didn't really, but she used to say, "I'm going to charge you £10 every time you apologise." It didn't stop me. I used to do it all the time, and it was their encouragement and their belief in me, really, and reassurance.
And I think some of the opportunities that they give to people are incredible. You know, the bad building which they have in Boscombe allows all sorts of people to not only write but perform and direct. And I've actually seen you perform a couple of times, and it's very powerful. So, you know, from, I suppose, from an outsider's point of view, we only see the kind of performance of it or the output. So tell us about, to talk us through some of the projects that you were involved in with the Outsiders Project that led you up to those opportunities of performing and directing.
Well, everything starts in the workshops. I started getting more confident over time in the workshops. And in my case, now Jane recognised something that I'd written, showed it to Nell. They were doing a play called Tattoo at the time, and Nell was asking people to write stuff about their tattoo experiences. So that's what I did, and I was chosen to be in the show. And that's when, and I was absolutely terrified. I tried to get out of it a few times. But yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I did it, and it was wonderful.
So from what you said before about having zero confidence to having the vulnerability and bravery to go and stand in front of complete strangers and perform your work that you'd written, I mean, that's a complete transformation.
It was, and it was so empowering. I'm supposed to be a writer. I'm supposed to be able to explain things, but I can't really explain how empowering it was. It was such an experience, and it was lovely as well, because there was other people obviously performing as well. Actually, you've interviewed one of them, Gary Krishna. He was there, and Gary and everybody were just so lovely. It's such a lovely environment to be in, because everybody was a lot of people were pretty nervous, and everyone was understanding, and now at the time was I didn't meet anybody who was difficult or offish or anything like that. There was so much kindness.
And I'd like to come back to that in a minute. So I'd just like to talk about your animation, which you co-directed, called Radiotherapy, which was shown at the BEAF Festival, but also in hospitals. I'd just like to understand a little bit about not only the process that you went through to create an animation, but where your thought process was in terms of going into hospitals and, and using your skills to help others.
Yeah, that's very exciting. That was. I wrote a poem. I had cancer when I was a child. When I was 10, I had bone cancer. So I've written quite a lot about that experience, but I wrote one particular poem about the radiotherapy treatment, and I read it out at one of the lock-ins that Outsiders do, and the lovely Jo Billingham at the time, she wasn't the director then. That was before Nell left, but she's actually the director of everything now. She's the big boss. But at the time, she suggested that I make it into an animation. And a little while later, Nell found another lovely lady, Coriana, and she's an animator. And we met, and Cora introduced me to Jo, who's another lovely lady who does the sound. She's a sound tech. So the three of us got together and put together this animation, and it was really good because for me it was really interesting to take something from the writing stage right through to the animation stage. I didn't have a lot to do with the technical side because I just can't. It doesn't go in my head properly. But it was nice to see it all happening, and you know, we had a lot of meetings. Cora had a baby in between, who is absolutely adorable. Yeah, we.
So talk to me a little bit about then the decision to, so you created this amazing animation called Radiotherapy, and then you wanted to put it into hospitals.
Yeah, well, the idea was behind it was for me. I wanted to just spread awareness, really. I mean, back when I had it's the sort of the treatments and things have improved quite a lot over time. I mean, it's back in the 80s when I had it. But I still think a lot of the issues are relevant. So I just wanted to really spread awareness of what it feels like for a child to have radiotherapy. Yeah, we showed it at the festival, and then we contacted Hull General Hospital and asked if we could show it to their oncology staff, and we got a really good response, and they agreed. So we went in and showed them the film, and a lot of people saw it. There was people online as well. I'm glad I didn't know that at the time, but there was about 200 people online watching it as well. And through that, the lead oncologist of her name's I've forgotten her name. She's a lovely lady too. Anyway, yeah, she suggested that we do these workshops, but it took some discussion because there was a lot of sort of safeguarding issues and with patients and all that sort of thing. So in the end, we decided to just do it for the oncology staff to start with and just see how it went. So we've done a few. We've done 3 now. One of them was just a pilot with the staff. We're kind of like just seeing how it goes. We were commissioned to do 3. And we're going to have a break over the summer and then see what happens in the coming months after that. So
well, that's wonderful. That is really cool. And so I want to just pop back now to community, because it sounds like you've got a really lovely support network around you. So how important is community and the people in your local area to you as a writer? And maybe what advice have you got for any other writers out there?
Yeah, it is very much more important than it used to be. Yeah, I think for local writers, come along to a workshop would be my main advice. There's one on a Tuesday night, and there's another one that I run myself now, which is going to be on Mondays. That's during the day. Yeah, come along to that would be the first step. But come to any of the shows, any of the performances. You know, if you see one of them, then I mean, you can approach any of us and introduce yourselves.
Sure. So it sounds like you're doing such a spectrum of things now. So not only writing, directing, leading workshops as well, which is brilliant. So what's your future plans? What do you want to do? What if you used to kind of see yourself in a few years' time, what's the dream?
My dream is that I will be writing full time, professionally. That's probably a bit too far in the clouds at the moment, but that's where I'm working towards. I've just been commissioned to write a play. Apart from the other thing that I do, apart from Outsiders, is I'm a community commissioner for the Poverty Truth network. So I've just been doing quite a lot with them, and they've commissioned me to write a play about poverty. So I've just started to do that. I'm getting a lot of help from Joe for that. And I'm also writing a book, but that's a bit on the back burner at the moment because of the play. But yeah, I'm doing that. But that's quite a long-term thing because the way I'm doing it is very slowly.
Well, the fact that you're even writing a book is incredible, and all the other things that you're doing. So, Debbie, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been absolutely brilliant talking to you, and good luck with all the different things you're doing. And to everybody else, please do come along and to the Outsiders Project's wonderful plays and performances and get involved. So thank you so much, Debbie.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And thank you everybody else for joining us today. Again, please do hit subscribe along the bottom and you'll get an automatic email when a new video has been posted. And if you like this video, please do like and comment on it, and maybe share it amongst your friends. That would be wonderful. So until next week, thank you so much for joining us, and see you again. Take care. Bye.